What up, y'all? One thing about broke people is whatever path that could potentially get you rich, they're always gonna advise you to steer clear of that path that can make you potentially a lot of money. And maybe, you might be transitioning from having a broke mentality to thinking the way rich people do from watching a lot of seminars and reading a lot of books and, studying rich people. Because, the only way to have anything, I believe, is to study those that have it, hear their stories, and they'll tell you how they got there. I know there's like a huge misconception that all rich people are like super greedy and they're hoarding all their information and they're trying to keep the information from you to keep you broke. And maybe that's true for some people, but I don't think that's true for a majority of people. I think one thing about competent people is they want to find other competent people and teach them the skills necessary to do the job as quickly as possible and to, to hire as many people as possible that's qualified for the job, for the position. There's a lot of people that they take pride in being a mentor, taking all the knowledge that they've acquired over the years and finding somebody half their age and then giving all that knowledge to that one person to save them, the 20 years that it took the mentor to find out and figure out everything on their own. So, but yeah, man, I was talking to somebody the other day, a lot of people will tell you stuff like, when it comes to Uber, right? And when it comes to a ride share and driving jobs and stuff, a lot of it depends on the market that you're in. But somebody I know the other day made $400 in one day, doing Uber. You know what I mean? He could probably do that. The city that he lives in, it has so many damn people that he could probably do that daily, if he wanted to. But a lot of people that never done Uber, they'll have an opinion about it and they'll tell you, oh, let's say you wanted to do Uber. They'll be like, oh, don't do it. There's no money in it and you're going to be broke. And you know what I mean? So it's going to be a lot of times when someone that doesn't know what they're talking about has the most to say about something, But anyways, and I don't get mad at that because, people will say stuff like, yo, you're not qualified to speak. Oh, wait, give me a second. They say that you're not qualified to speak, right? And then get mad at you for it. And one thing I know about people, doesn't matter if you're qualified or not. It doesn't matter if you know what you're talking about or not. When people feel like they want to say something, they're going to say it, So I no longer get mad at people that feel like they want to say something, even though they have no idea. You don't need a certification to speak, you know what I mean? Or to be There's so many misinformed people spreading their misinformation around. And that's just the world, man, So anyways, when someone doesn't know what they're talking about, don't get mad at, I remember one time there was a guy, I was talking about Facebook ads, to his wife, and he came downstairs. He's like, oh, what y'all talking about? I was like, oh, Facebook ads. He was like, oh yeah, that doesn't work. And he's never run a Facebook ad in his life. I know for sure, you know what I mean? He probably got a bunch of friends that they have failed experiences and they've come to the conclusion that something doesn't work, you know what I mean? But here's the thing, bouncing a basketball using a basketball to get to the NBA, that shit works, It won't work for me because I don't have the skills necessary to be in the NBA, you know what I mean? So if somebody you can't shoot 100 jump shots and come to the conclusion that there's no way to put a ball in a hoop. It's yeah, there is a way. You're just not good at it. You suck. You're you know what I mean? If you were good, you know what I mean? The piano, for Elton John, it works. You know what I mean? The piano for me, if I learn, but I'll probably never be as good as him. But, so shit works, man. It just depends on who does it work for, you know what I mean? Depends on your skill set, Anybody could pick up a basketball and get better than he was 2 weeks ago, but not everybody could pick it up and be Jordan and LeBron James and shit, So, things work, man. When it comes to network marketing, when it comes to, affiliate marketing, direct sales, all these things work. It depends on the individual's drive, you know what I mean? And that's why a lot of these websites, they'll have a disclaimer and it'll say something like, warning, these, because it'll show videos of people with fancy cars and the houses that they bought because of direct sales or however much money they made online, and it says, warning, this video is not proof. It's not a promise that you'll do the same, because they don't know your work ethic. They don't know that if you're going to join something and then quit the next day, or only stay active for 2 weeks and then get mad that you have 0 results and then quit, you know what I mean? Or for 3 months and then quit, So, yeah, man, I remember one time, I was talking to my brother and he got mad because I was like, yo, man, look, these people on YouTube, right, who are making 20,000 a month, 30,000 a month. Like in my mind, I felt like, yo, those are the only people qualified to speak to me about finances. You know what I mean? Everybody will tell you to get a job or whatever, but no fucking job has ever made any of us rich. You know what I mean? Like most of us are a slave Monday through Friday. You know what I mean? And we live for 2 days, 2.5 days out of the week, you know? Like the only time we thank God is when it's Friday, you know? Thank God it's Friday, and celebrate 2.5 days, like from Friday afternoon up until Sunday night, pretty much when we go to sleep, you know? And so everyone will advise you to do the things that they did, you know what I mean? And that's all that they'll do, you know? So I don't know, like when people come up to me and they ask me like, yo, I got this in my heart, what do you think? And I'm like, yo, if it's in your heart, do it, you know? Because I don't know the results of you following, you know, what's in you, you know? Like so many of us have thoughts and ideas that if we only acted upon them, yo, we'd have so much fucking money, or we'd have so much impact, or we'd be so much closer to being, you know, who we could have been, you know? And there's so many people trying to prevent you from doing that, like taking their mediocrity, their mediocre life, and telling you that that's how you have to be or whatever, or that's how, you know what I mean? So people are always going to impose. People are always, one time I was on PlayStation, right? I was dropping a bunch of voice messages, you know, and it only allows you to speak for 15 minutes before that's the cutoff point. So I dropped like so many of them. It was like 40 of them, at least 45, something like that. But some guy got on there and was like, yo, Rob, no one cares about these voice clips, or no one cares about, and it was like 99 people in there, 100 people in there, you know? Meanwhile, later on, I had people thanking me for like the stuff that I said. That was like, yo, it was very impactful, it's very motivational, whatever. Like I appreciate it. And it gave me a new look on life, like a new insight. So meanwhile, you got this one guy telling me, yo, no one cares about your voice clip. It's like, nah, dude, you don't care, you know, but don't try to impose just because you don't care means that 99 other people, you don't know what 99 people care about. You can't speak for a collective group, you know what I mean? Like you could only speak for yourself. But he swore because he didn't care, that no, how could anyone else potentially care about what I had to say? Because he didn't value my words. Therefore, how could anyone else? So you see, like little things like that, we always imposing our beliefs, you know what I mean? As soon as you think something is a scam, you know, and it's like, yo, like, and so many things are, there's so many things that are not a scam, right? But people know that they won't check it out, right? They won't check out the website. They won't get informed, you know? So they're speaking from their misinformation and they're telling you, yo, it's a scam, you know? And these people, they never got scammed by the company, right? They'll tell you things about a company that they don't know the foundation of, or how long it's been in the business, or, you know what I mean? Like they won't research like, yo, how many millionaires has this company produced, or how many quarter millionaires has this company produced, or how many, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that, like the statistics. They won't research that stuff. They'll just come to the conclusion that everything online where you could potentially make money is a scam, because the only way to live is to work for another man. And it's like, yo, like such an outdated belief system, you know? But you know, that's just all people know, you know what I mean? Like I had this one friend, he wants to be a rapper, and his dad doesn't believe in him. And I to some degree, I understand why. It's not, you know, I don't know. I don't think the dad doesn't believe because the son is not talented. I think the dad doesn't believe just because he was born in fucking 1950, or like, you know what I mean? Or something like that. So people that are old as hell, the only thing they know how to compute in their head is get a job, retire, get your 401k, pension plan, blah, 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 and then die someday. That's all they understand. You know what I mean? So when it comes to dreams, opportunities, things on the internet, you can't expect an old ass person that, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying that there's not people from the 50s that know how to have a millennial mindset, or know how to, know how to perceive opportunity, know how to realize that, yo, it's not a world where you have to just work for somebody else. Like there's so many opportunities where you could create your own income, you know? But you know, for the most part, people, like old people, have old ideas, you know, and their ideas are outdated. Their ideas, like, even though we're in 2019, there's people that still have a 1965 mentality, you know what I mean? And if they still have that, that's the propaganda they push onto you, even though you was born, let's say 93 or 95, 90, whatever. You know what I mean? So you're aware of all the opportunity. Like you see it every day on YouTube. You see every day people coming from nothing to something. You know what I mean? Like starting their podcast or starting putting out music or starting, gathering a following and and then getting interviews and meetings like with no label, with no, you know what I mean? Like not having to be under an industry. Like there's so many misconceptions. Like there's artists nowadays that are still trying to get signed. You know what I mean? It's like, why are you trying to get signed, bro? Just put your shit out. You know what I mean? Like you by yourself, you could be a corporate entity by yourself. You know what I mean? But there's so many of us that we want to lean on another person, or we don't want to pick up the skills that it takes to go solo. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. So yeah, it's not the 90s anymore, But if you still have the mindset of it being the 90s, then if you're a rapper, you're gonna approach the world trying to get somebody to co-sign you, not knowing that you could co-sign yourself just by putting your shit out, SoundCloud, YouTube, Spotify, or you know what I mean, and researching other people that made it on these platforms by themselves. You know what I mean? Like they made it independent, and figuring out how they did it and then applying the same methods. You know what I mean? But the thing is, like, when you don't really believe in yourself, you think that you're going to need other people to believe in you to put you on. And that mentality is going to make you so codependent on whether or not someone comes around and believes in you. First of all, no one's ever going to believe in you more than you. Like, I mean, it could happen, but it's very rare, So, and the only belief you need is yourself. Like once you got your own co-signature, you're good. Like the only one you need to co-sign you is you. Like so many of us are waiting for our mom and dads to fucking back our dream up, you know what I mean? And get mad at our parents for not believing in us or not financially supporting the dream or whatever it is. And it's like, like it's your dream. Like you cultivate it, you grow it, you nurture it, you water it, you manifest it. You know what I mean? Like, it might be unfortunate, but no one gives a fuck if you manifest all that you could be or not. Like if you die with every dream that you have and never manifest shit, like so many people just don't care because they got their own shit going on. You know what I mean? And if you're going to sit there and dwell about people that don't care about you being all that you could be, you know what I mean? Like some people might care, but if you have the mentality that nobody does, it puts the pressure on you. If you get excited about that, like, no one cares, but cool. Like I'm the only one that needs to care. Right. It puts pressure on you to get your shit together. You know what I mean? Cause you're not so reliant on people's support or holding you down or whatever, you know what I mean? And then from that place, you start doing all that you can do to be the best version of you, or to, you know what I mean? To be resourceful, to make meetings, to make phone calls, to figure out whatever it is you're trying to figure out for whatever industry you're trying to be a part of, you know what I mean? But it's always going to be the people that are least qualified to tell you about how to get wealth. First of all, broke people are always telling you what not to do to get rich. And it's like, you're not rich. So what do you know about getting money? Like you struggle, like you live paycheck to paycheck. Like, how do you know that something is a scam? You haven't even tried it. You haven't even, you know what I'm saying? But so it's always going to be like that. But, don't take it personal when these people try to tell you what doesn't work, because that's just the way of the world. It's always misinformed people spreading their misinformation around. You know what I mean? So yeah, just do your own due diligence, your own research. And you know what I mean? If you believe something, it doesn't matter who doesn't believe it, and I have a friend who's like a prime example of that, because when he started in network marketing, I mean, he failed a couple of businesses and other times before. And people like to think just because you failed a couple times that, you're always going to fail. And it's like, you can't judge the future based on the past. You know what I mean? Like you can't say that just because someone failed, like 100 times, that it's over for them. You know what I mean? Because as long as you still draw a breath and you're still alive, there's still a chance that, you know what I mean, you might get that phone call, or you might, you know what I mean, like things might happen for you. What's up, Ariana? So it's never too late, So yeah, I had this one friend that his mom didn't believe in him, right? Like his mom was like, you doing that network marketing stuff still? And she was like, you're wasting your time. You should just get a job. Like, and for a lot of people, that might be some hurtful shit to hear from your parents. It's like, damn, why wouldn't they be supportive of what I'm doing? You got to understand, like when people have a mindset that makes the things that you're trying to accomplish stupid, once people consider the things you want to accomplish stupid, like they'll never support you. And it doesn't matter that it's your own mother, your own father. Like You're embarking on an adventure that they believe is meaningless. You know what I mean? So from that point on, there's nothing you could say to convince them. The only thing you could say, do to convince them, you can't really say anything, is get the results that you know you're capable of getting. You know what I'm saying? Like manifest the things in real life that you know you're capable of manifesting. The thing is, people talk a good show, right? But never create anything, you know? So it's like, it's one thing to tell somebody you're going to build a dynasty. You know, it's another thing to stand in front of it and then you look over your shoulder like, yo, here's the dynasty that I always said I was going to build. You know what I mean? One means a lot more than the other when you physically show people what you always told them you was going to get. You know what I mean? So many people announcing, I'm going to drop an album, I'm going to drop a song, I'm going to do this, I'm going to embark on this adventure, I'm going to go to this country. And it's like 10 years pass and nothing happened, you know? And everybody announces stuff. And that's why we've grown so numb to like, yeah, okay, dude, like I'll believe it when I see it, you know? Like, so when people get cynical towards you, don't take their cynicism personally. They're probably cynical towards anybody that announces anything because they know that humans spend majority of their time announcing and very little time executing on what they say that they're going to do. You know what I mean? So my friend who his mom didn't believe in him, his cousins, his uncles, none of them cared until he started making $5,000 a week from his computer. Now, all of a sudden, everybody wants to know. And it's going to be like that, you know? No one cares about the dynasty that you're building. But once you build it, everyone wants to know how the fuck you did it, you know? And I know that might seem weird to you. It's like, oh, now you care. You know, it's because now they have something to believe in. Because you know how people, like, they say shit like, I'll believe it when I see it, which means until they see it, they don't believe it. You know what I mean? So, and that's just how people are. Don't take it personal that it's your parents or your family that are the ones that seem to be opposed to you, you know? Because none of that matters if you know what you're capable of and you execute on it and you manifest it, like, then, you know, that'll be proof to you that the only one you needed to believe was you. So, and that really, you know, that's displayed, everything I just said is perfectly displayed in my friend's testimony because he became all that he knew he could be, and he didn't have any support system. He didn't have people telling him, don't worry, like when shit got hard, don't worry, you're going to make it. He didn't have none of that. He only had, sometimes the only nice things you're going to hear about you are the things that you say to you. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes the only nice, kind words of encouragement come from yourself to yourself. Sometimes, you know, you might not know anybody that has anything encouraging to say to you. And if you sit and dwell about how you're not receiving the encouragement that you think you need, then you'll fail to execute. You know what I mean? And it's like, there's so many things that it's like, yo, does it matter because it matters? Or does it matter because you keep telling yourself that it does? You know what I mean? Like, so many people need their father's approval, their mother's approval. And it's like, yo, bro, does that shit matter because it matters? Or does it matter because you keep telling yourself that it does, you know? Because, you know, like, here's how you know when something matters. Like, oh, something is important. When it's important to, like, everybody. Like, you know what I mean? Like, well, nah, that's a bad analogy. But the point I was gonna make was like food. There's no debate. This is like, you know what I mean? Like, whether or not humans need food, that's not debatable. Everybody fucking needs food. Everybody needs oxygen. You know what I'm saying? Everybody needs a place to sleep. You know, in the winter, everybody needs heat. Like, these things are not debatable. Like, they matter. You know what I mean? And not because I say that it does, but because it just does. You know what I mean? Like, but there's so many things that, like, you know what I mean? Like support or people loving you or people being kind or people that told you they were always going to have your back, having your back forever, you know, because sometimes the people that say that are the first ones to leave, you know? So, but anyways, so yeah, my friend, when he started making 5,000 a week, 7,000 a week, 10,000, you know what I mean? All of a sudden now people are paying attention, you know, and all the people that said no to him with his business opportunity, now they want to know what his website is. Now they want to know where can I sign up or where can I, you know what I'm saying? And this dude I'm talking about, he has a girlfriend, right? And he's wondering like, yo, when is she gonna get on board? Because his girlfriend has been watching him win forever, you know, and he's made her website for her. He's done a lot of things for her, and she's still not getting on board. But some people, like, the indoctrination runs so deep that it's like they're under a fucking spell. Like, they're incapable of getting out of their own like, you have to want to get out of that spell, you know what I mean? Like, if you never have money, you have to one day get up and be sick of that shit. If you're always depressed, if you're always angry, if like, you have to want to not be that way anymore and say, yo, this is the last day that I'm living like this. You know what I mean? And although I might still struggle with this, I need to fucking start finding a solution for why I'm always angry or why I'm always broke or why I'm always miserable or why I'm always sad. Like, you know what I mean? Until a human is so dissatisfied with their circumstance that they become so obsessed with finding an alternative that person just won't change. You know what I mean? Like, because most people are casual about their change. Like there's people that have been smoking cigarettes for like 25 years and they're like I know I should change. I know I should stop smoking, and they'll just try to tone it down. Like maybe that might go from one pack a day to like half a pack to like two cigarettes. I mean, or three cigarettes. But then they go back up and it's like, yo, I done tried to quit smoking like 25 different times. And then they come to the conclusion, fuck it, I'm probably going to smoke until I'm dead. And then, because it's easier not to quit than it is to like quit, you know what I mean? Because they keep telling themselves I need it, and every time the urge comes to smoke, they don't fight the urge. They just buy another pack, you know what I mean? Instead of saying, nah, like I'm better than this or finding better ways to cope, you know what I mean? Because like, I know people go to drugs because it's like, yo, like life is hard, life is suffering, right? And it's like, how else do I cope with this shit? So people get high to try to avoid certain things, but as soon as you sober up, the shit you was trying to run away from is right there again. You know what I mean? So anyways, so it's like, why not try to find a better coping mechanism? Like how is I looked up how much of a pack of cigarettes per day in New York City. It's $5,000 a year in New York City if you smoke one pack a day. It's like you got to pay $5,000 just to kill yourself slowly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so, but when people have justifications for like, yo, like, well, my kids drive me crazy, or well, I never have money, I'm always stressed out. You know what I mean? And it's like, yo, working out is probably the best stress reliever, but nobody wants to work out. Everybody wants instant gratification. You know what I mean? If I smoke a cigarette, it's a lot, I'll get relieved a lot quicker than if I run a mile or if I run 2 miles or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. So I thought it was crazy that, when my friend, nobody believed in him. And then once he started becoming all the things that he said he was going to be, now all of a sudden they're interested. And that's going to happen. I'm sure it happens all the time to celebrities, like everybody who doubted them, everybody who now these people want front row tickets to your concert and they want your phone number and they want to chill with you. And it's like, because you're Mr. Popular now, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it didn't matter when you was saying that you was going to be there, and then you might get some bitter resentment in your heart, like, yo, why these people doubted me, man? I could have taken these people with me, you know what I'm saying, to big places, but now they want to come around. I'm not even interested in being their friend because they're probably just now coming around for what they could get out of me or what, you know what I'm saying, what they could use me for. So yeah, man, and that's just, it's just the nature of people, because most people are selfish. Most people wake up in the morning for themselves and don't give a fuck about anything that's not directly affecting them. This is why we could walk past homeless people and have no remorse about that, because it's like when we look at the faces of people that need food, we rationalize not giving to people by saying, yo, well, it's not my mother, it's not my father, not my brother, nor my sister, so why should I give? You know what I mean? Or we start getting resentful towards homeless people because we're like, yo, when I was homeless or whatever, no one ever gave me shit, so why should I give? I hear that a lot. Like, people say shit like that. So, rationalize not giving. But people don't realize when you put a limitation on what you give to this universe, the universe puts a limitation on what you receive from it. Like I've always heard as a kid, yo, it's better to give than it is to receive. That's because giving starts the process of receiving. If you want to receive a lot, you got to give a lot, and people don't give because they feel like they don't have much. You know what I mean? That's why in church, when they pass around the basket offerings or whatever, like people be like, yo, I only got $1, but what's $1 gonna do? Like, it's not gonna help the church at all. So then they keep it, you know what I mean? And they withhold their blessings, and then the universe withholds its blessings from you, you know what I mean? Because yeah, man. So I don't know, like when you give kindness, when you give money, when you give help, assistance, like whatever little that you have, like, it's never too late to start giving something, and it's crazy because like I've seen videos with like, homeless people and that are just so kind and courteous. They barely have anything, but they'll give their last to try to help somebody else, and even though they don't have nothing, you know what I mean? So yeah, anyways, so yeah, there's an abundance of opportunity, of ways to make money, of, like I said, like this person that I know, he did Uber in New York City. He made $400 in one day. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Can you imagine? I don't know, if any of you got a calculator. Actually, I got one. I'm about to find out because with this whole Uber thing, like, so their only restriction is they let you do 10 hours a day and six days a week. You know what I mean? So give me a second. 365 divided by actually, hold on. 52. Give me 1 second. 20, 26 times 2. Okay. Minus 20. My bad. I was doing something real quick. All right. So with the whole Uber thing, you could only work 10 hours a day and you could do 6 days a week. So that's 339 days a year. So if you worked every day, if you went hard for a year and you made 400 every day, damn, that's crazy. That's a $135,000, $135,600, you know, in a year. So yeah, like some people who've never done Uber, they'll tell you, yo, there's no money in it. Why are you doing that? You know what I'm saying? And they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They're just spreading. Most people, they'll take the opinions that they heard from the world and that'll become their opinion. You know what I mean? So that's why me as a person, I never take pride in saying that, you know, that anything about me is original. Nothing, no fucking thing about me is original. Not the way that I rap, not the way that I speak, not the way that I process my thoughts. Like, yo, there was a whole world here before I got here, and I'm nothing besides a culmination of everything that inspires me, everything that I picked up influences from the way that I speak to the way that my fucking accent. You know what I mean? It's crazy, you know, like to think that if any of us was born in the Middle East, we wouldn't have American accents. You know what I mean? Like we wouldn't have. You know, if you was born in Barbados, you'd sound like those people. If you was born in, you know what I'm saying, like Sicily or whatever, like, you know what I mean, you'd sound like those people. You'd speak that language, you know. So, yeah, man. Anyways, one thing about music, this is random, but about music, like a lot of artists, they take pride in sounding like themselves, right? Whatever that means. They don't want to be compared to nobody else. So, like, especially rappers. Rappers hate when you say, "Oh man, you remind me of this dude." You know, I know there's one dude who would get mad when people compare him to Eminem, and it's like, dude, like Eminem's one of the greatest rappers in the world. Why would you get mad at that comparison? That's a compliment, you know. But an artist will take that as disrespect when they have their ego so inflated that it's like, nah, man, I don't want to sound like M. I want to sound like me. Like it's like, bro, every rapper sounds like another rapper. Every human sounds like another human. Every human looks like another human. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, man, we're all like. You know, we're all like bits and fragments of whatever influences us, you know. So, anyways, yeah, man, the best way to find out what's real and what isn't is just to do your own research, you know, like just go on your computer and research companies or stock markets or forex or, you know what I'm saying, real estate, you know, cuz and yo, if a person, you got to be careful who you share your ideas with, right? You know, not because they're gonna steal it or anything. Well, they might, but the thing is, if you're not, if you're not, if someone's stronger than you negatively than you are positively, then they could influence you to not do something that you were meant to do, that you were created to do, just because you shared your idea with someone that they don't have any vision for themselves and they'll impose that shit onto you. And because they don't want to be nothing, because they're comfortable just getting by and barely having anything, you know, like yo, there's something about wanting to be a millionaire. Like you can't tell that to too many people, right? Because they'll fucking demonize that real quick. They're like, why do you need so much money? You know what I mean? Broke people are always wondering, like, you know, oh, I don't need. They'll say shit like selfish people. They'll be like, oh, I don't need that much money, you know. And it's like, yeah, you don't need that much money, but if you made all the money that you was capable of making, and if you was a kind, considerate, giving person, do you know how many people benefit because you know you became all that you could be? Like, you know what I mean? Like in terms of money, right? If you had several $1,000,000, you know, and here's the thing about money, right? Like I think, you know, whoever's capable of making that much money, and when they execute on their talents, on their abilities, on every opportunity, you know, and when they strive to get to where they know they could be, they'll get what they deserve. You know what I mean? Like, I know a lot of people get mad at rich people because you feel like they were born into wealth or whatever. And it's like, yo, there's only like, you know, only like 5% of people or something like that were born into wealth, you know, but like 95% of people that came, like have a lot, they came from nothing, you know, and having nothing motivated them to go get something, you know. And sometimes rich people that are born rich, they're at a disadvantage in a way because they're born having so much money that they'll get lazy. They don't have anything in them, any drive to set out on a quest or any future endeavors, because the biggest problem that most people have had in this world is money. So once that issue is solved, it's like, yo, I don't have to do shit. You know what I mean? So, and that's why so many people who have a lot of money, like they might end up getting depressed or stuff, because it's like, yo, now that I've obtained everything that I needed, like, what else do I do? And that's why, a lot of them end up being on drugs and shit like that, because there's nothing in them. That's why, setting goals is important. Once you accomplish a goal, set another goal. Like, that's what keeps you busy. That's what keeps you, and once you have like a lot of goals, you won't have time to do drugs. You won't have time for meaningless conversations. You won't have time to like get mad that someone's hating on you or even question why. You know what I'm saying? You'll just be like, yo, whatever, like, people hate, but it's not my business why they hate me. Like, the only thing that's my business is me becoming all that I could be and worrying about that shit, because you know what I'm saying? Life is short as it is, without you shortening the time that you have by wasting it on shit that's meaningless. You know what I mean? Rumors, what people say about you when you're not around, like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. So yeah, always be curious. You know what I mean? Always do research. Always, always look up stuff. If you start hearing that some companies popping or whatever, or like, you start having interest in doing something that's like not traditional to your friends or to your circle, like, sometimes it's best for you to just join a company and not let nobody know that you're doing it, right? And then just start marketing, start advertising, start promoting, start whatever it is you're doing. What I noticed with the whole network marketing thing, most people join companies and the first people we try to recruit is our friends and family. You know what I mean? And the way this world works, sometimes your friends and family are the last people that give a fuck about what you got going on, what you're trying to build. And those are the last people to believe in you. But you got to set out on your quest anyways, and it's crazy. Like, sometimes you're going to have family that you've known for years, and friends and stuff, like, hoping for your downfall, and meanwhile you got complete strangers cheering you on from the sidelines. And I don't know why that is. It's just, life is a numbers game. Like, a percentage of people are going to cheer you on and a percentage of people are not. And percentage of people are going to be wealthy, some are not. Some have nasty attitudes and some don't. Some people become all that they could be, and some people die with all that they could be inside of them still and never become all that they could be. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, don't get mad at just learn to understand that some people just fall within those statistics of people, like those statistics of people that go against you, that say bad things to you, that don't believe, don't support, don't got your back. You know what I'm saying? Like, the thing is, we get upset because we be like, yo, but it's my own mother though, or it's my own cousin, it's my own, like, I would never expect that type of behavior from this person. And the crazy thing about life, at any moment, the person that you would never expect something from is the person that same energy you don't expect, it might come directly from them at any given moment. You know what I'm saying? At any given moment, your best friend could betray you. You know what I'm saying? A friend could walk out on you. Your girl could leave you. You know what I'm saying? Like, people could die, like, all types of crazy stuff, and just gotta focus on, just gotta find a goal, create a goal and aim really big, and people are going to try to shame you for wanting more than you need, but I want whatever I'm capable of. For me, what I notice about people, we want the most from our relationships. You want the most from your kids. You want the most from the car. You want the best car that you could drive. You want to live in the best city possible, or best town, or wherever, best apartment possible, the best sneakers possible, best clothes possible. But when it comes to money, it's like we want barely enough to fucking survive, and that never made sense to me. How we want all that we're capable of in most other departments. You want the most from your wife, from your kids, from your situation, from your circumstance, but money just enough to get by. What is that? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why for me, when it comes to money, whatever the fuck I'm capable of, that's the number that I want. I don't know how many millions of dollars I could probably make, but whatever that number is, I want to reach that. Why? For no other reason other than because I'm capable, so all I'm thinking about is, how can I position myself to get to the point where I could start having that type of money? You know what I'm saying? And when I start winning, people benefit from that. My circle, they benefit directly from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I start winning, my mom starts winning, my brother starts winning, my good friends start winning. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many people that I know that need money that I'd love to just send them money just because I know they need it. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely wouldn't be a rich person that hoards all his wealth and has zero interest in helping other people. It's like, nah, man. Like, if anything, that's the reason I want to be rich, because if it was just me, like, when it comes to just me, I don't need much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I only need like $50 to get my phone bill paid, You know what I'm saying? 2 meals a day, and I could live anywhere, yo. Sometimes I sleep in my car. I'm cool with that, like, you know. But I mean, I've been reading some shit that you're not supposed to do that. Like people die from breathing in the exhaust fumes in their car. So, but I'm a simple person, man. Like if I had to live in a car, you know, like I'd do it. You know, if I had to live with 10 roommates, I'd do it. If I had to live off other people my whole life, I have no shame in that. You know, there's so many people that they be like, oh, why live like that? Why do this? And it's like, cause my standards are not your standards. You know what I mean? You have a mindset that makes that unacceptable. I have a mindset that I don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I knew this one guy, cause one time I was living with a family. Dude had 3 kids and a wife or whatever. I was on a couch or whatever, and they asked me like with a weird look on their face, like, yo, are you good living like that? I'm like, yeah, I don't really care. Like, you know, like what's it to you? Like, what does it matter? You know, like you wouldn't live like that, but doesn't mean that other people wouldn't, you know? So sometimes people are going to criticize you just because they wouldn't do something. They feel like you shouldn't be doing it. Well, I shouldn't be, or I wouldn't do that, so you shouldn't do it. Like, you know, so I don't know what I noticed, like, to the same degree that you love your neighbor, you're going to love, to the same degree that you love yourself, you're going to love your neighbor. To the same degree that you hate yourself, you're going to hate your neighbor. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people think that in scripture it says, love your neighbor. And it's like, that's not all it says. It says as yourself, you know, but so many people think that it's a humbling thing, or it's a modest, you know what I mean, thing. Like it's a virtuous thing to care more about other people than you do about your own self. But the Bible never said to be that way. It said love your neighbor as yourself, which means you're not supposed to be fucking caring about people that much more significantly than your own self. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I knew this one person that he used to make sure everybody's good, but he was never good. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, what's the point of that? You know what I'm saying? Like make sure you're good first, and then make sure other people are good. You know, because like I can't save anybody if I'm dying. Like if I'm dying, what the fuck can I do to save you or your friend or whoever else needs? So I have to make sure I'm good. Like, so, you know, that's why when I get on here and I do these motivational, you know, speeches or whatever, like I've spent so much time developing myself, like making sure that I'm good, making sure that I'm never going to have a bad day. You know, why? So that I can have that much more to give, you know, and my cup runneth over. So every time I do a podcast, like you're getting the excess, you know, water that's on the saucer. You know what I'm saying? If you imagine a cup on a saucer, my cup is full and it's flooding. You know what I'm saying? And the salt, whatever's on the saucer that's holding the cup, that's the excess that comes out on these podcasts. You know what I'm saying? And I knew that I had to fortify myself and make sure that I'm good, because I don't want to have days where depression could potentially be an issue. I'm never going to be depressed ever again, because I know where depression comes from. It comes from thinking about yourself, your circumstance, and how much you hate circumstance, and things are not going your way. So when I learned shit doesn't have to go my way, plus I'm an adaptable person, plus if I have a mindset, yo, if it goes my way, praise God. And if it doesn't go my way, either way, praise God. Like I'm going to be good. What can this world do to me when I think like that? Nothing, man. Like, you know, like if you heard how much debt I'm in, I got 5 parking ticket violations. It's crazy. Like I owe $575 in tickets. I got into 2 minor car accidents in the last 25 days. Still having the time of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like you wouldn't even know that I'm going through that unless I told you. And I'm not going through anything. You know, I'm passing through it. You know what I mean? Like, but it doesn't have dominion over my life, you know, because the shit that I look forward to. So, you know, the biggest thing I learned when it comes to overcoming, you got to have goals. You got to have something that you look forward to tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, the next 10 years. Because if you don't, you'll get so overwhelmed by current circumstances not panning out that you start to lose hope in anything, because the only hope that you have is that circumstance panning out, that person calling you, that person texting you, that person, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, just adapt, you know, be an adaptable person, you know? So getting back to on topic and shit, you know, the picture for this podcast, it says broke people aren't adaptable. You know, they think everything's a scam and they avoid new opportunities. And then it says rich people are very adaptable. They aren't scared to take a loss and they embrace new opportunity all the time. You know, so yeah, it's always going to be a broke person telling you that something's a scam. Don't invest your money. Don't, you know what I'm saying? I saw a quote. I'm trying to think of how it was worded. It was amazing. It was like, yo, some people say investing is a scam. No, something like that. No, it was like some people say that the stock market is a scam, but I say investing your money into anything that you're not knowledgeable of is a scam. You know what I mean? So what he's saying is, it's like, actually, that's not how it went. It went like this. It said, some people say that investing in the stock market is a gamble, but I say investing into anything that you're not knowledgeable of is a gamble. So what the point of that quote was, If you don't know what the fuck you're doing and you invest $10,000 into something, it now becomes a gamble because you don't know what you're doing. You didn't spend money to get the education, or you didn't find any courses, you didn't find any gurus or whatever, or you didn't read any books on a subject. You just, you try to swing for the fences without, teaching yourself how to properly hit a home run. Because right now, myself now in my physical form, like now I can't hit a home run. Like I can't. I have to train for that shit. I have to build my arms up. I have to, but it's a gamble when you think that you're going to hit a home run, or that's what you're hoping for, and you've never done one push-up in your life, you know what I'm saying? And you've never, you never ran, you never worked your arms out. Like, it's like, how you going to hit a home run, So yeah, man, there's a lot of things that work, and this is where people come to the conclusion that things don't work. They'll be like, oh, investing doesn't work. It's like, bro, it doesn't work for you. You don't know how to invest. That's why it doesn't work. Doesn't mean that investing itself doesn't work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I take it, like I was saying earlier, if I take a basketball and I shoot it right now and I completely miss the hoop, like air ball, I can't come to the conclusion that the basketball is broken. Like, no, my aim is broken. Like, my structure is broken. Like, my form when it comes to holding the ball, I'm not doing it properly. I can't come to the conclusion that basketball doesn't work. It works for LeBron James. It works for Kobe Bryant. It worked for Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? So, which means that there's a technique to it. And if I don't know that technique, here's what, like, people that are not knowledgeable, they'll come to the conclusion that something doesn't work because they don't know the technique, not understanding that there's probably thousands and millions of people that they're perfectionists when it comes to the technique. They've perfected the art of investing, of forex, of stock markets. And if only you would acquire the same information that they have, you'd have the same knowledge they have. And if you started to get into the same routines, the same disciplines, reading the same books, and it's like, why would you not have similar results when it comes to your bank account balance versus theirs? You know what I mean? If you do the shit that they did to get their money, like, why wouldn't you have similar money? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that if someone has $10 million and you do exactly what they said, like exactly what they do all the time, that you're gonna have $10 million. But shit, if you make it to $500,000, it's a lot better than the 40,000 that you made per year. You see what I mean? So you'll be a lot further than you were when you start learning new things, But this happens all the time. People come to the conclusion that just because they've been miserable for 15 years, that inner peace is impossible, happiness is impossible. And it's like, it's possible. You just, don't confuse what you don't know how to do with what you haven't learned how to do yet. You know what I mean? People say, I don't know how to be happy. No, don't say that shit. You have not yet learned how to be happy. Once you learn how to be happy, you'll know how to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, then it's nothing, but people come to the conclusion, I'm not a salesman, or I can't be a salesman. It's like, no, you haven't learned how to be a salesman. You know what I mean? People they always like to say what they are and what they're not, and that's two of the most powerful things you could say in the world is I am and I am not, because you are defined by whatever comes after those statements. Like, whatever, when you fill in the blank, whatever word you use to describe yourself, that's what you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a quote that says the man that he says he could do something and the man that says that he cannot do something, they're both correct, which means the person that says that they can't, they'll never have anything within themselves to find out if they could, because they've already came to their own conclusion. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing in them to do research to find out what's possible. That's why, for me personally, I always let grace take me where it may. I don't know what the fuck's possible for me, but I know if I aim high, if I set the bar high, I'll land somewhere a lot higher than where I would have been if I set no bar at all. You know what I mean? So yeah, but yeah, what I was gonna say, sorry. So yeah, man, there's a lot possible for all of us, you know what I'm saying? There's so many levels that we don't know exist, because somewhere along the lines, life beat the dreams out of us, it beat the optimism out of us, it beat everything out of us, and now we're limited to the other limited people around us and become a product of them. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, like, I really think the quickest way to change yourself is to change your circle. And if you can't change your circle of negative ass friends for whatever reason, then thank God for YouTube, where there's an abundance of knowledge and books and whatever you want to find out. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything that we struggle with, there's a book dedicated to it, and everything that we struggle with is because of a lack of wisdom in that department, So if your finances are fucked, what you need is financial wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Like, money is a fucking language, Rich people speak it fluently, If we don't learn the language of money, we'll never have it, So There's like, so if we struggle with finances, we need financial wisdom. We struggle with relationship, we need relationship type wisdom. We struggle with anger, and then you need wisdom about inner peace, and you know what I mean, how to control your emotions and stuff like that. So there's a scripture in the Bible that says, my people perish for a lack of understanding, and all you're getting, get more understanding. So everything that you've ever had a problem with in life is due to your lack of understanding. So like I say this all the time in most of my podcasts, and I guess I'll end it with this, but people be thinking that someone owes them a text back, a response to a text message or a phone call, or or people owe it to you to keep your word. And it's like, yo, when people give me their word, right, and then they don't keep it, I don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not because I'm cynical towards people, or I'm like, oh, fuck it, nobody keeps their word, or I knew it, or I'm not holding nobody to nothing, I'm just, in all circumstances, I'm like, if it happens, cool. If it doesn't happen, cool. That's my perspective about everything. That's why I don't even know how to get pissed off if a person doesn't keep their word with me. I'm not alive for you to keep your word with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to fulfill my purpose, and that's the only thing that has something to do with me, is the things that I'm supposed to do. I don't have to have a negative response to the lack of you being able to keep your word. Like, people lie all the time. People, like, shit pops up, life happens, events occur, like kids get sick, like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you're supposed to chill with your friend and then something happened, or they call them in at work, you know what I mean? And there's people that's going to get so mad about that, and it's like that same energy could be redirected towards and it's like, yo, you don't have time to waste getting mad at people all the time. If you don't know why the fuck you're alive, if you don't know why the hell you've been created, then all that energy you're wasting getting mad at people is energy that could be utilized figuring out, why do you exist? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't you think that matters? Like, you know what I'm saying? We spend most of our life worrying about shit that doesn't matter. There's very few things that actually matter. You know what I'm saying? And if you had 10 minutes to live, if you compiled a list of things that matter in your last 10 minutes, those are probably the only things that matter in life at all. You know what I'm saying? We make this life about 4,000 things that matter, when you can't even think of 25 things that matter. I challenge you to fucking come up with a list of 25 things that actually, I'm talking about, really matter. I'm talking about, like, because a lot of atheist people, a lot of, and whatever your religion is, whatever, but like, if you are atheist, if you had 10 minutes to live, all of a sudden it matters if there was a God. You know what I'm saying? Because if there is a God, you're about to fucking meet him in person when on the other side of death. Like, you know what I'm saying? It would matter if there was a standard of living that you were supposed to follow. It would matter if there was something that you was specific that you were supposed to do with your life that you never discovered, because you spent all your time with animosity and getting mad at your neighbors and mad at people that disappoint you, failing to realize that if you didn't have a standard that people needed to meet, they couldn't fucking disappoint you anyways. You know what I'm saying? Nobody would get on your nerves anymore if you didn't expect shit from people. The reason crazy ass people get on your nerves, you expect them not to be crazy, is due to a failed expectation. You know what I'm saying? So when I meet people, I just take them as they are, and I try to love them as they are, knowing that they have potential to be better, no matter how fucking mediocre people are. And this is what gives me constant peace all the time, is because even when you're disrespectful and you're a disgusting person, like, I'm not naive to the fact that that's what you're being at the moment, but I don't give myself permission to see you for other than what I know you could be if you were fully submitted to God. And I know that image is worth, God's son dying on the cross for, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I just view everybody in that light. That's why people don't piss me off anymore. People don't disappoint me. People don't get on my nerves. I've gotten new nerves. I've gotten new skin that people can't get under, and it just came from a willingness to want to be in this place, like, so. And there's only two people in this world: people that want inner peace and people that don't. People that hold on to the rights that this world gave them, the right to be offended, the right to be annoyed, the right to, you know what I'm saying? Because when you find someone that annoys you, you could probably find 2 or 3 more people that agree with your assessment on their character, and all of a sudden you feel justified viewing them as an annoying person because 4 people agree with you, 3 people agree with you. Oh, I knew that was annoying. Oh, this person's so annoying, right? And then you start telling their qualities of what the fuck makes them so annoying to other people, and they're like, man, yeah, man, I'd be annoyed too. And then now the brokenness in other people is breaking you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now you're just as soft as other people. Now you're just as sensitive, easily bothered. Everyone's getting under your skin. We normalize shit like this. No wonder all of us are incapable of controlling our emotions, because we have a mindset that makes us not be able to control it. You know what I'm saying? Because our emotions are dependent on other people's behavior, on other people's performance. We need people to perform a certain way for us to be good. And that's why we're never good. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna end it on that note. You know what I'm saying? That's usually the podcast that I do, talking about those subjects. But I talk about that enough as it is. But this one was supposed to be more about money, finances and stuff like that. But yeah, man, you don't know what's possible for you. But if you aim high, you might at least start to have an idea of what's possible. And trust me, people that don't aim at all, there, it's always gonna be those people that try to tell you, you know what I'm saying, what you should be doing or what you shouldn't be doing. And people with no goals, no aspirations, they're probably not qualified to tell you. They're not qualified to tell you, but they're gonna speak anyways. Yeah, just let people speak. You don't have to get mad when people have an opposing view than you. Just carry out your belief system. You know what I'm saying? Just if you know that you're great, then keep believing that. If you know that you will be a millionaire, keep believing that. You know what I'm saying? And not just believe it, but execute on it. And every opportunity that you find, try to max it out. Find other people that are millionaires and listen to the way they speak, because broke people will never know how to tell you how to get money. People that are they're battling inner turmoil inside. They're always frustrated. They're always angry. What the hell can they tell you about inner peace? Nothing. They lack it themselves. You know what I'm saying? But so yeah, man. Like I meet a lot of guys that they'll be like, oh, you should bang some chicks or you should do this. People are always whatever life someone lives, they'll impose that shit onto you. Like my brother, he told me that before I die, I should bang every ethnicity. You know what I'm saying? I should have sex with a Cambodian chick, African chick, Japanese, Chinese, like every ethnicity that exists. And it's like, why? Like, I see no purpose in that. But anyone who sees a purpose in that or thinks that they see a purpose in that, they'll impose that shit onto others. You know what I mean? Like, I remember one time I'd have some friends. I'd be like, yo, man, I'm trying to stop like masturbating. I watch porn way too much. They'd be like, oh, all you need is a girlfriend. And it's like, but what would change though? It'd still be a complete waste of my time, because instead of busting a nut watching porn, I'd be doing that with another person. And then like all that time having sex with someone I'm probably not going to marry, someone that's probably a complete waste of my time and I'm a complete waste of hers, is all the time that I could spend fucking fulfilling my purpose. You know what I mean? So it's like, so some people hear these messages, they be like, yo, bro, you sound so boring. When do you have time to have fun or do this or do that? And it's like, I've had a lot of fun, but now it's like, it's time to get serious. It's time to, it's time to be all that I could be, because I know that the impact that I have once I get there, it's gonna, so many people benefit. When you start winning, everybody wins. When you like, if you're capable of making $1 million, when you make that money, everybody around you wins. If you're giving, it depends on what type of personality you have. I don't know if some people are the type that would hoard all of their money and nobody wins except them because they don't share any of their winnings with other people. So what's up, David? What's going on, bro? Just chilling. So yeah, man. So like I said, like people are always going to impose their belief system onto you. Like if you're around guys that think that you should bang a lot of chicks, that's because that's the life they live. So they're going to tell you that that's what you should be doing. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's like, I know a guy that all he likes is talking about jokes and funny shit all day. You know what I mean? So that's all he wants to talk about. This guy's like incapable of having a regular discussion, but, he seems to like have a problem with anybody he meets that's not like him, like if it's not about jokes or stupid shit, like he doesn't want to talk about it, but, so yeah, man, like people are always going to impose, but like whatever you believe you're capable of, just don't let nobody, convince you otherwise. You know what I'm saying? And if you can't handle somebody telling you that you're shit or you're not going to make it, then it's better to not even share your dreams with other people, because if they don't know your dreams, they can't shoot it down. You know what I'm saying? They can't attack what your dreams are if they don't know what the hell it is, so it's good to probably keep it to yourself until you're strong enough where it doesn't matter if people know or how they try to attack it, because there's nothing they could do to take that away from you. You know what I'm saying? Or to make you like mad about what they're saying, because in spite of their disbelief, you keep believing, in what you're capable of and stuff like that. So anyways, so I'm about to be out. My phone's dying and I'll see y'all next time, man. Take care.